Hey kids, as you know, on the weekends I love taking my monster truck out to rallies. Put my GoPro up here to give you guys a great view of the action. Anyways, I put together a little ACT tutorial video for you. Check it out.
At the beginning of the year, before we started our first essay, we went over introductory clauses. We went over prepositional phrases, when to use a comma, when to use a semicolon. Why then are we doing it again now? Well, first of all, I want you to see how they're being asked on the ACT. All right? Because they're going to ask you these questions on the ACT. And also, it would help out for a little review. Because on your essays, some of you are still missing stuff like this. I take off points for this. By the way, the essays are on. All right. We know what an independent clause and a dependent clause are, okay? Independent clause is a part of a sentence that could stand by itself. A dependent clause is a part of a sentence that can't. Now, when we bring these two things together, we need to use a comma. All right, take a look. Before he began preparing for the ACT, okay, that obviously is a dependent clause. That can't be a sentence by itself. But Ed talked to his advisor. That's your dependent clause. To bring those together, we need a comma. All right? An introductory clause or phrase. Sometimes you can even have one word be an introductory clause. For instance, well, obviously is a dependent clause. It's not a sentence, right? But I guess there's no way to tell when we can go swimming. That is an independent clause. It could stand by itself. Connect it with a comma. All right? Now, comma conjunctions. Comma conjunctions. When you have two independent clauses, two, and you need to connect them, you use a comma conjunction. Take a look. It's a mile to the ocean. Is that a sentence by itself? You're darn straight it is. You have to travel about 9 miles to get there. Can that stand by itself? Yes. So you use a comma conjunction, right? Take a look at this one. To get to the high school, make a left on High Street. To get to the high school is a dependent clause. Make a left on High Street is an independent clause. You join them with a comma. See that? What else could you use to bring together two independent clauses besides a comma conjunction? All right, do it. Do it.
Semicolon?
A semicolon is correct. Very good. Very good. All right. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky. All right, here's where things get a little bit tricky. A comma is not required after a short introductory prepositional phrase if the meaning is clear. All right? And that's the part that sometimes people find debatable whether it's clear or not. But here's an example. In September, all right, I'll leave home for college. Okay? The meaning's pretty clear. In September. All right, there's no real vagueness. When? In September he's going to college. So in those types of situations, you don't have a comma. You see that? You see how that stinks? There's all of these little exceptions for the rules that they're going to try to catch you on. Do not use commas in these examples. All right? The beginning clauses or phrases are not introductory, okay? Ed talked to his advisor. Okay, that's not an introductory clause. All right? Make a left on High Street. All right, again, not an introductory clause. In fact, both of those are independent clauses. All right, we know about comma conjunctions. All right, here we go. Here's some more stuff that I know we've had before, but you guys still miss it. And I want you to pay attention here to something that's really tricky that I know they're going to try to throw in there somewhere. All right? Use commas in these examples. These are parenthetical expressions. When we did them earlier on in the year, we called them appositive phrases. All right? They do not provide the essential information. It kind of adds a little bit more, adds a little flavor to your sentence, right? And remember, we can take these appositive phrases out and the sentence still makes sense. Look at this one. My brother, who loves to play soccer, wants to be a teacher. All right? Here is your parenthetical expression, or your positive phrase, who loves to play soccer. Can we take that out? My brother wants to be a teacher. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You're darn straight it does. All right? It's adding a little bit more to the sentence. So you want to make sure there are commas around those. This one too. Last summer, when I turned 16, I spent a month at the lake. You could take when I turned 16 out. I spent a month at the lake. It still makes sense. So you put commas around it. Now here's where they will try to trick you. Here's where they will try to trick you. Sometimes, on rare occasions, you do not need commas around examples like these phrases. When is that? It is when the information that you are taking out is essential to the sentence making sense. Look at this one. The girls who play soccer will miss the last class. All right? Hey, who plays soccer? I'm going to take that out. The girls will miss the last class. Sounds good. Correct it is. You're wrong. It's not correct, and this is why. Take who plays soccer out. The girls will miss the last class. Now notice, all of a sudden the meaning of that sentence is different now, right? Because now we're talking about any of the girls from anywhere in the school, anywhere. That was important information. So guess what? You don't put commas around it. All right? All right, take a look. Here's one too. Everyone who takes the ACT. Okay? Well, there we go. Who takes the ACT? I take it out. Everyone should read this book. It's fine. Correct as it is. Wrong. All right? Because when you take it out, it says everyone should read this book. And when you read that, it's very important. That means everyone in the world should read the book. Is that the case? No, it's not the case. It doesn't make any sense to us. It takes away the meaning from the sentence. So if that's the case, you take the commas out and leave it. You see that? That's where it gets kind of tricky. All right? This stuff we're pretty good with, right? You use commas to separate a list. You know, the plane entered a long, slow spiral. Pat liked warm, soft, breezy nights. You know, Ed liked eggs poached, toast buttered, coffee black, right? Here's one you might want to watch out for. Bright red convertible. You don't want to have a comma there because it's not really a list. It's more like an adjective, descriptive, phrase. So you don't want to put a comma in there.
All right, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. All right. This is how these types of questions are going to appear on. Oh, did it? Oh, that's rotten. So here's some examples. Nathan, the guitarist with the short hair, was late for rehearsal. How would you fix that section, that sentence, if you needed to? How would you fix it? What? Yeah, what letter? Go ahead.
C, put a comment.
Yeah, C. You want to use C. Nathan, the guitarist with short hair, all right, was late to rehearsal, okay? This is extra information. It adds an extra little bit of detail, but it's not necessary for the meaning for us to understand that sentence. So we need to put commas around it, and that's why the answer is C. All right. On his way to band practice, he stopped to pick up snacks and then made 2 wrong turns. What would you say for that one? F, G, H, or J? What do you think? All right, Brandon, look out. What's that? F is correct. No change. It's an introductory clause. On his way to band practice. It's a dependent clause followed by an independent clause. So it's correct as it is because you need that comma. Number 3. What do you have for number 3? Let's go with, all right, Kyle, come on. Let's do this. You like this stuff.
B.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to choose B. It's he brought sodas, potato chips. Those are lists. That's a list, right? So you got to use commas in there. And finally, number 4. What do you have for number 4? All right, Justin.
H.
Yes, H is correct. All right, you want to take that comma out because those are like kind of real descriptive words. It's not really listing anything. All right? Wow. Hey, kids, just see that? Hey, I got one for you. Why was the monster truck late to the rally? Because it had no driver. All right, what do we have for number 1? Number 1, what do you have? To help them out a little bit. Go ahead.
Is it correct as it is?
This one is correct as it is. All right, this one is correct as it is. Yep. Number 2. What do you have for number 2? Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead, Zach.
I removed the 2 commas.
Yes, you want to remove these 2 commas right here. All right. Hey, Zach, can you explain why?
Because if you take that section of the sentence out, it changes the meaning of the
Yes, yes. That section there, that phrase, that clause, who is a member of the Circle Club, that is necessary to understand the sentence. Every senior who is a member of the Circle Club receives an award. All right? And when you take it out, it says every senior has an award. It completely changes. It's necessary information. All right, what do you have for number 3? What do you have for number 3? Oh, yeah! All right, did anyone say take the comma out? All right, Corey, you did. Settle down. Don't need to brag. All right, why do we want to take the comma out on that? You've just been talking. Remember, I've talked to you guys about the exceptions to the rule. All right? And one of the exceptions to the rule is if the clause is very, very, very clear. All right?
When did the custodian lock us in? After school. All right, so there's no need to put a comma there because it's very distinct and very to the point. Number 4, what do you have for number 4? What do you have for number 4? All right, Zach.
I left it alone.
Yeah, it's correct as is. Okay, the college graduation seems a distant but desirable goal. Take a look. This one tricked a lot of people. But desirable is a phrase. It's an appositive phrase. When you take that out, college graduation seems a distant goal. Does that sentence make sense? Yep. Was desirable necessary to figure out the meaning of that? No. So it's one of those prepositional phrases. You can take it out. So those things need the commas. All right? Oh, yeah! Number 5. Amy, come on.
I said put a comma before but.
Yeah, put a comma before but. All right, you have make a left at the next corner as an independent clause. Be sure to turn right at the second corner as another independent clause. 2 independent clauses, join them with a comma conjunction. Cool?
Race fans, the U.S. Hot Football Drag Racing Championships blast into Baltimore Arena this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monster trucks go to war, climbing and crushing among the cars, including Bigfoot. Hot Rod Mudball Drag Racing funny cars down and dirty in the bog. From the 23rd century comes Boria, the 200-mile-per-hour jet dragster, 2-story tall transforming robot. Get your tickets now. Baltimore Arena box office and all ticket center outlets this Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m., Sunday, 2 p.m. Baltimore Arena. It's the wildest show on wheels.
All right, whatever. Number 1. Who haven't I heard from yet? Let's go with, all right, Corey. You want to do this one.
Number 1, I said B.
B is correct for number 1. Ed, who lives next door. All right, you want to put commas. All right. Because you could say Ed was planning a trip. It's fine. It's number 2. What do you have? All right, Alex.
I said J.
J is correct. That is a, he asked us to look after his dog, comma, his cats, comma, or his cat, comma, and his plants. So J it is. It's a list of things. In addition, we were to water his lawn twice a week. Which one do you have for number 3 there? What do you think for number 3? Alex, again, this is out of control. I like it. I like it.
I said
A, no change. What? Remember, this is one of those where there's really, hold on, let me get that back up here. In addition, we were to water his lawn twice a week. That's an introductory phrase. And it's got a comma, so it's good. All right. Well, all right, let's try number 4 here. Who wants to? All right, Brandon, try number 4. That is correct. At daybreak on Saturday, he left for Hawaii. But we were out of town that day. You're putting the commas in there because at daybreak, we were out of town for the day. That's the most important part. When he left for Hawaii, he's adding information. And finally, number 5. Number 5, Brian. You like this stuff, I know it. All right, that's okay. I could see someone saying that. Yeah, I could see someone saying that. But let's have a little. All right, Alex.
I said B.
Yeah, B is correct. Now, why is that? All right, why is that? Well, remember we talked about how sometimes if these phrases are descriptive in nature, and that's basically what that is doing. His 16-year-old niece. All right, just like the example earlier of the bright red car. All right, it's the same idea here. It's more descriptive. You don't need a comma there. All right, and those are the ones that you guys need to pay attention to, because those are tricksters. Those are tricksters.
McDonald's at this elite level, one of the best in the game. You look at moves like this and you dare like that. He's still one of the most underrated freestylers out there. The fans are on their feet after that wild crash.
Well, he's not going to stop. It's just a three-legged bull. It's no big deal. Oh, look at this.
Hey kids, I know the ACT can be tough, but don't give up. Look at how even after I lost a wheel, I never stopped. So don't let a flat tire stop you during your ACT rally.